everyone. So there's going to be 2 videos uploaded this week because this is just kind of how I want to divide up the work. This is a review video on 7th chords. So if you actually feel confident with 7th chords, then you don't have to watch this. I'm just posting this for reference. Okay, and our next unit, secondary dominance, is like focuses a lot on 7th chords, so I really wanted to make sure that you guys have a reference in case you kind of forgot some stuff. I know we've been working on counterpoint for a long time, so this is actually going to be pretty quick, just a review of 7th chords, right? So, okay, so there's 5 different 7th chords, right? 5 7th chords. And those are a major 7th, so we do a capital N with a 7. There's a minor 7th. I always do a lowercase m with a line over it just to like kind of define that that's minor. There is major minor or dominant, which is a lot of what we're going to be focusing on in the next unit. There's half diminished, so that's like a little circle with a slash through it. And then there's fully diminished, which is just an open circle in a 7th, right? Okay, so I'm going to go through what each one of these is. All right, so let's start with major 7th, and let's just use C major as an example. So here's a treble clef, yep. So let's say that we want to build a C major 7th chord, right? So there's 2 things that you need to consider when building 7th chords. Is 1, the quality of your triad, and then the quality of your 7ths. So a major 7th has a major triad with also a major 7th. These are the easiest to think about because all that you have to do is consider the key of C major. So first, build your triad, right? Make sure this is a C major triad. So if you can write out a C major scale, just use scale degrees 1, 3, and 5, and you're going to get a major triad. And then you want a major 7th. So again, think in the key of C major from here to here. That is an interval of a 7th. B belongs in the key of C major, so that is a major 7th, right? So there's the triad is major, and the 7th is major. So a major 7th, right? So again, I always just think in the key, and I think about like a C major scale, and with major and everything, any scale degree that is in that key is going to be a major quality. So literally you use scale degrees 1, 3, 5, and 7 in the key of C major to build this chord. All right, so next is going to be minor 7th. All right, so again, let's try and do C minor 7th. C minor 7th. So this is a minor triad with also a minor 7th. Okay? So first let's build the triad. So let's make a C minor triad. So you can use C major and then just lower the 3rd, or you can just think in C major it's flat 3 there, right? And then a minor 7th, right? So here's your 7th. Right now we have major because B is naturally occurring in C, but if you just lower it once, now you have a minor 7th, right? So this is a minor 7th, and then this is a minor triad. All right, that shouldn't be too bad. Again, this is just a review, so if you have any other problems or questions, just let me know. All right. All right, now we have to create, let's do a C major minor 7th. So this is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to do a major triad with a minor 7th, right? So I'll write that out though. Major triad and a minor 7th, right? So let's first get our major triad. So that's our C major triad, right? And then we need a minor 7th. So think C to B, that's major. C to B flat is minor. So this is your major minor, or as we're going to be calling it a lot, it's a dominant 7th. Right? So this is the major triad and then the minor 7th. Okay? on to the next one. Let's do half diminished. Half diminished. So let's again just keep going on C, half diminished seventh. So this is going to be a diminished triad with a minor seventh. Okay, so let's first build that diminished triad. Again, it's like a major triad, but you're going to lower 3 and 5. And that's your diminished triad, right? So you take a major triad, C, E, G, and then lower 3 and 5, and you're going to get a diminished triad. You're going to get E flat and G flat. And then we need a minor seventh on top. So, I mean, we've already been doing these minor sevenths, so C to B flat is minor, because C to B is major, so you lowered it once, right? So this is the minor seventh, and then this is your diminished triad, okay? And then last but not least, we have our fully diminished triad, yeah? So fully diminished, you're gonna have a diminished triad with also a diminished seventh. Diminished and diminished, right? So again, build your diminished triad. Start with major, lower 3 and 5. And then we have to figure out how to get a diminished seventh. So first make a major seventh, right? C to B. If you lower it once, you're going to get a minor. If you lower it 2 times, you're going to get diminished. So that's going to need a double flat on it. And this is your C fully diminished seventh chord. So this is a diminished seventh interval, and then this is a diminished triad, right? So the ones that are hard to remember, actually, honestly, I think it's only really one to have a hard time remembering, right? So for a major triad, or sorry, a major seventh chord, you have, well, yeah, actually, this might help you. I'll make like a little chart for you, right? So here's your seventh chord, your triad quality is going to go here, and then your seventh is going to go here, right? So for a major seventh, you have a major triad with a major seventh. Kind of easy, right? It's a major major. For a minor seventh, you have a minor triad with a minor seventh. So again, minor minor, kind of easy. We have major minor or dominant, which it's kind of in the name, right? Major triad, minor seventh, right? We have half diminished. That's going to be a diminished triad and a minor seventh. So this is the one that I find people kind of forget about, or they get this mixed up where they'll do a minor triad and a diminished seventh or something like that. But yeah, just work to only memorize this one, because I feel like everything else explains itself. Like fully diminished also is a diminished triad and a diminished seventh. So this is diminished diminished. This one's minor minor. This one's minor major major. This one is a blend, but it kind of labels itself. So this is the only one that I find people get a little tripped up on. So maybe spend a little time to try and memorize that. Okay. So that's kind of a little review on seventh chords. Things that I want to talk about also just really quick is the Roman numerals in which they like show up on the most. So if you were, what you could do, let's take G major just for fun, something different than C major, right? So let's say that we have a scale of G major. Only just one way, because actually just for space, I'm going to knock these ones down an octave. D, E, F. We don't need G. Okay, so if we wanted to build a seventh chord on every single one of these in a G major scale, we're going to get certain Roman numerals, right? Some of them we're going to use a lot, some of them we're not at all, but it's kind of interesting to think about what kind of seventh chord naturally occurs if you were to build seventh chords on every scale degree. So I did G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then G, right? So here, let's label this one. These are going to be for Roman numerals wise. If If we were to do this, this is going to be a major triad with a major seventh. So this is a 1-7. Now this does not occur really at all. Once in a while you might find it in like late romantic works, but for the most part we're not going to really deal with that. But it's interesting to see that a major seventh naturally occurs, right? 2. So you got to think to yourself, this is a C, E. So that's a minor triad. And then A to G is also a minor seventh. So you're going to actually get a 2-7. Because the 2 is lowercase, it tells us that this is a minor seventh, right? Because it's minor seventh, right? This one we are going to see a little bit, especially in cadences. 2-7s are pretty common. Just giving you a heads up of how things are going to show up. All right, let's do 3. Now this one's kind of funny, right? Because we have B, D, F sharp, right? So that is minor with an A. So that is a, minor seventh. 3, 7. I mean, in general, we just don't even see 3s. So let's just not even bother with that. 4. Okay, C, E, G, that's major. With a B, that's also major. So that's a major seventh on 4. This one we're also really not going to see. That's a very uncommon chord. Now this one is going to be our most often one, right? So D, F sharp, A, that's a major triad with a minor seventh, major minor, that's dominant, right? 5-7, we're going to see that one very often, all the time, right? This is our 5-7 to a 1, 2, 5, 7, 1, it's all part of your cadences, right? So this is one of our most important ones, and we're also going to have to get used to that for our next unit in secondary dominance. All right, let's do 6, E, G, B, that's minor, and then E to D is also minor, so that's a minor seventh. This one also does not occur that much. So then let's do our last one. That's going to be our 7th scale degree. So think to yourself, let's look here, our triad F sharp A, C, that's a diminished triad, and then F sharp to E is a minor triad. So this is actually a 7 half diminished 7. This one also occurs the most often. It's the leading tone triad, right? So really let's focus on 7 and 5. Those are your two most often occurring 7th chords, and then 2-7 sometimes shows up. I'm going to do this same thing in minor just so that we can see the differences. So let's do G minor just to kind of keep things going. So G minor has 2 flats, right? We go G, A, B, C, let's go down to D here, E, and then F. Now, in minor, remember, just go across the board and raise your leading tone, right? So that's really going to affect this guy. It's going to affect this one, and I guess it could affect this one, and it's not really going to happen here anyway, so I'm not going to really talk about that. So we can't go through this. We're not going to raise the leading tone here because then it makes this minor major deal, and that's not really a 7th chord. So pretty much if you are going to find a 1-7, it's just going to be G, B, flat, D minor, and then G to F, which is minor. So that's just going to be a minor 1, which again doesn't really happen. We have a 2, A, C, E flat, so that's diminished, and then A to G, which is minor, so that's a half diminished. You do 2 half diminished 7th. This one also is going to kind of occur. B, D, F, B flat, D, F sharp, that's augmented. Again, we're just not going to really deal with 3. You get like an augmented 7th, which you're going to talk about in theory 3 or 4. Somewhere down the line. We will talk about augmented 7ths, but not today. 4, we have C, E flat, G, which is minor, and then C to B flat, which is also minor. So this is a 4-7 minor 7th. Now because we raise the leading tone, this creates actually the same quality as the major one. So D, F sharp, A, C. This is going to be major, and then your 7th is minor, so that's your dominant major minor 7th. Again, most important. We raise that leading tone to create this chord. This is a very important chord. It's creating tension with this leading tone right here, resolutions, part of cadences. So we're going to go on to the sixth, which is E flat, G, B flat, which is major, and then E flat to D, which is also major, so that's a major seventh, 6, 7. And then because we raised our leading tone, we get a different quality here, right? So we get F sharp, A, C, which is diminished, and then F sharp to E flat is also diminished, so this is a 7 fully diminished 7th chord. All right, so this one also is going to occur the most often. So things to remember when, especially like writing part writing and thinking about things, 5 and 7 have leading tones that you need to resolve. So the F sharp, if you're going to write the chord following it, make sure that F sharp goes to G. Make sure this F sharp goes to G if you're resolving and writing for part writing. All right, so I hope that this is a nice little review, something that you guys can reference when talking about our next unit, which is going to be secondary dominants. All right, sounds great. Thanks.